This is tempe, the most popular Indonesian food made from fermented soybean. It's been part of our culture for centuries and is loved for its unique native flavor and high protein content. But did you know that most of the soybean used to make it are actually imported? Hmm, let's check this out. Alright, here's where things get interesting. Did you know that about 84.5% of the soybeans in our beloved tempeh are actually imported? And yep, most of them come from United States. Sounds a bit wild, right? Not too long ago, back in the early 90s, we were actually producing most of the soybean we needed right here in Indonesia. But as time went on, things started to change. Now let me show you just how important soybean are to us Indonesians. Take a look at this chart. In 2019, Indonesians were consuming an average of 11.2 kilograms of whole soybeans per person just for food. That's more than any individual meat protein, except seafood. So yeah, we are not just casually into soybean. They are a staple food that deeply woven into our daily meals. Let's start with a bit of history. Back in 1995, the World Trade Organization or WTO introduced something called the Agreement on Agriculture or AOA as part of its Uruguay round negotiation. The idea behind the AOA was to create a fairer global trading system for agriculture, aiming to open up markets, reduce trade barrier, and make agricultural trade more competitive. On paper, this sounds great, a way for countries to trade more freely and access a variety of agricultural food. But in reality, the effects have been far from fair, especially for developing countries like Indonesia. Here's why. The OA allows developed countries like the United States to provide massive subsidies to their farmer. In fact, the US is allowed to allocate up to 19.1 billion in trade distorting subsidies every year. These subsidies give American farmers, especially soybean producers, a huge advantage on the global market. Additionally, the AOA includes a provision called the minimized exemptions, which lets developed countries keep certain subsidies if they are below 5% of productive value. These loopholes allow countries like the US to keep a range of subsidies in place, making their products even cheaper on the global market. Meanwhile, developing countries like Indonesia don't have the resources to provide such generous support to their own farmers. So, what does this mean for Indonesia? Well, it's had a big impact on our local soybean industry. Not too long ago, Indonesia was producing most of the soybean we needed, but as the US soybean flooded the market with their lower prices, thanks to all those subsidies, our local farmers struggle to compete. This has led to a huge shift. Today, most of the soybeans we use are imported, and most of them come from the United States. And this isn't just about statistics or trade numbers. This has real consequences for Indonesian families and farmers. For millions of Indonesians, tempe is a daily staple and affordable source of protein that's more accessible than meat or poultry. Tempe is deeply woven into our culture and diet, but it's made almost entirely from imported soybean now. So when global prices fluctuate or there are disruptions in the supply chain, the cost of our daily meals is directly affected. Our reliance on imported soybean also means we are losing control over our own food security. With so much of our soybean supply coming from overseas, we are vulnerable to change in global market and policies that are beyond our control. And while the AOA included some special provision for developing countries, like allowing longer implementation periods and reduced reduction commitment, these haven't been enough to fully protect our farmer. When Indonesia and other developing countries bring proposals to the WTO like requesting special products and special safeguard mechanism to protect crucial foods like soybean, these suggestions are often met with resistance from developed countries. This makes it even harder for Indonesia to secure its own food system and reach true food sovereignty. Tempe might seem like a simple food, but it represents a complex story, one about international trade policy, global power dynamic, and the struggle of our local farmer. Supporting local tempe isn't just about enjoying a traditional food. It is a small way we can push for a fairer food system that support Indonesian families and farmers. So next time you are enjoying a plate of tempe, remember there is a lot more in that meets the eye. Here is something you might not know. Over 90% of the soybeans we import from the US are genetically modified or GMO. While regulatory agencies say they are safe, some people worry about potential long-term health and environmental effects. Plus, relying on GM soybean could push out our traditional farming practices that support biodiversity and local resilience. As consumer, we have a choice. By choosing organic locally produced tempeh made from non-GMO soybeans, we are not only supporting our local farmer but also preserving our agricultural heritage. This choice helps strengthen rural economies and reduces our reliance on imports, making our food system more resilient and sustainable. So, what we can do now? One option is to support organic, locally produced tempeh made from non-GMO soybeans. Like this is what I get from the market in here in Australia. By choosing local, we are not just buying tempeh, we are supporting our farmers, preserving our culture, and strengthening our food system. Every choice counts, and together we can build a more resilient Indonesia, one plate tempeh at a time. Thanks for tuning to this reflection for our tempe and our food system. Let's keep the conversation going. Leave a comment below about your thoughts on imported soybean and local food. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to spread awareness. Until next time, let's keep our plates and our hearts close to home. Bye.